Hey, I'm Harmony, and today I'm going to show you how to start a wellness business in 2025 in just 6 steps from scratch. So in this video, I really want to show you today that actually making your first 10K month is really not as hard as you're probably making it. So maybe you've got qualified in some form of modality, maybe you're a service-based business or even a lifestyle business. This method is going to show you the exact 6 steps that you need to get sorted so that you can start your business. Let's jump in. So one of the things that I see as a business mentor is people do not plan well enough before going into their business. What they do is they see that so many other people have business ideas or business models that they want to basically copy. And I'm going to tell you exactly why that is the worst way around going to start your first business. I've been there. I've tried several different business models before I landed the business model that I have now, which is a group mentoring coaching program for business women. And in this method I'm going to show you today, these are 6 steps to get you planned, building and creating your dream business without the hustle. Step 1 is all around planning your schedule. Now, when I say planning your schedule, it probably sounds like the most boring thing possible to do. But I can assure you right now, that is the number 1 step you need to take. Now, when I say planning your schedule, I don't just mean planning your work schedule. What I mean is you need to plan out your life first. Oftentimes people will build a business, things snowball, there's endless to-do lists forever. There is always going to be more to do in your business. I can assure you that after being in business for 5 years now. But I want to make sure that you understand that you actually get to build it around the lifestyle that you want to build. And for me, that means optimizing my life and my business so that I actually can prioritize health. I've been there, I've burnt out, and I don't want to end up back there. So it is my number 1 priority right now to make sure that I have a schedule that I love getting out of bed for and that really lights me up. That supports my business. So a lot of people build their business and try and work out how to do the life thing later, and it's really where everyone goes wrong. So the number 1 thing you're going to do is you're going to map out exactly when you want to do your own personal lifestyle things. Do you want to go to Pilates? Do you want to go to yoga? Do you have a gym routine that you love? When are you going to eat? When are you going to see friends? Have you got kids that you need to get to school? When you want to be home? All of those sorts of things, and you need to decide what hours you're going to work. One of the traps that I fell into when I first started my first iteration of my business was that I found myself working for as long as I had. If I had one thing to do that week, which was maybe create content, it would take me days and weeks to get organized to create content because I was giving myself too much time. So now what I do is I make sure that I have a small window that I'm going to create content in, which now I can get that process down to 2 hours a week in my static posts and reels. And then I make sure that I really stick to that. Now, a schedule for a lot of people sounds a bit ick because it sounds really rigid, and maybe you had a 9-to-5 job or a corporate career and that the term schedule or routine or roster felt really rigid and suffocating. But I can assure you, when it's your own business and you get to create your plan and your schedule yourself, it will actually support you. So I want you to know that planning is not a punishment, but it is actually something that's going to support you to do your best work in your business. Otherwise, you're going to very quickly resent being in your business if all you ever do is work. Step 2 in getting started in your wellness business is building out your business plan. A business plan probably feels really hard, and it's, what the fuck is a business plan? But a business plan is also here to support you and help keep you on track. Let's call it your own personal policy, right? So when you start a business and you have a business plan, this is your North Star. This is what you can keep coming back to time and time again to check in. Am I on track? Am I going after the goals that I originally set? Am I on purpose with my mission? And I'm going to talk about vision and mission in a second, but a lot of people get really washed down in their mission and they're like, oh, I want to help people. But why do you want to help people? Bring your own personal story into what you do so that it makes it more personal, and then keep checking in with that. Are you being congruent with your own values, your own mission, your own vision? And realistically, what is your impact goal? I prefer the term impact goal over mission because it really is about the people that I work with. I want to 1,000 business women to start businesses and know that they can hit beyond 6 figures without burning out. That is my sole mission, is to help you. Over 46% of people are going to need to start some form of side hustle or business in the next 12 months, purely based off the cost of living getting so expensive that your 9-to-5 job, regardless of how much money you're earning, is probably not going to be sufficient to sustain your lifestyle. And so more and more people are starting businesses. The problem is that I see that women are burning out all the time because they're juggling too many things, they're not planned, and they're not organized. So building out your business plan and your schedule, those top 2 points of starting your business, are the most critical. Step 3 is to create your cash plan. Now, when I say cash plan, I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice, but what I need you to understand is there's no point just picking a business model willy-nilly, again, based off of what someone else is doing, because it might not be the best way for you to, 1, enjoy your life, and 2, hit the financial goals that you actually need to live a sustainable life. So there is the business model or the cash flow that you need to keep your business afloat and break even, and your break even point is earning more than you're spending in your business. If you don't have any other form of income stream in your personal life, then it means that you need to obviously create a business that's actually going to pay for your personal life as well. And so a lot of people also forget that. They think, oh, I'm covering my expenses of my business, the applications that you're using, the cost of your website, all of those things. But they forget that they need to pay rent or a mortgage, they need to eat every week, they need new clothes every year, all of those sorts of things that people don't account for. So in this step 3, I really want you to make sure that you go and you really get crunching on your numbers. So if you need to go and get financial help for that, absolutely do that. But it is super critical to making sure that you're starting a business that is actually going to pay for your life and ultimately get you to your dream goal. Maybe you want to travel more, maybe you want to do more hobbies, maybe you want to take up something else, maybe you want a hands-off business that you don't even have to work in long term. Really important, you do this cash plan up front so that you can check that your business model is actually going to help you hit that goal. Step 4, I want you to outline your offer. Now, your offer is super important. I think a lot of people really mess this up. I know for me, I've spent the last 5 years trying to find an offer that I really love, that is actually going to help the people I want to help and also support the lifestyle that I'm building, which is a freedom-based lifestyle. I'm a travel girly and a wellness girly, and I love doing all of that. So your first offer needs to be the offer that is going to support your lifestyle. It also needs to be something that is energetically sustainable for you. So for me, I'm also a qualified yoga teacher, and I do not aspire to working 20 to 25 hours a week teaching classes. Now, I love teaching yoga, but it is physically and mentally and energetically exhausting to teach more than a couple of classes a week for me. I'm an empath and I feel all of the things, and it's really just not a sustainable model for me. Not to mention, I don't want to be driving around. I don't want to be driving around all over the city. I used to be a business manager in retail. I did that at a high level for over 20 years, and I don't want to be driving around the whole entire city just covering shifts at different studios. I want the freedom to travel overseas whenever I want, and so a studio right now is not the right move for me. Number 5, this is one of my favorite topics. And when I first started my business, I had no idea that you needed to create so much content. The good news is I'm a creative person. I absolutely love it. It's not for everyone. However, it is really important that you have a content strategy and a conversion plan. And these two are different things. So you need to create content, and content that's actually going to move your audience to make a purchasing decision. The second thing is you need to have a conversion plan. And by conversion, what are you going to do to get them from I'm interested to I've purchased? So there needs to be some form of sales process there. Service happens to be my jam. I have over 20 years experience in service, and I do have a 6 to 8 step process for this. You're going to need to create content that shows your skills, that shows that you can actually provide some form of problem solving or transformation for your audience. It's super important to start thinking about that and working out what kind of plan and how often you're going to get on social media, which type of social media you're going to get on. Are you going to do a YouTube exactly like this? Or or maybe some other form of way of reaching out to your potential audience. But you need to know how you're going to convert them. What kind of conversation are you going to have about the transformation that you provide to get them to their first outcome in order for someone to pay you? This is an energetic exchange. You give a service, they pay you. This is not a personal thing. This is not about you. This is about helping your client. Can't stress that enough. A lot of people make content and they get really worried about what people are going to think. This literally has nothing to do with you. This has everything to do with the impact that you're going to have on your audience. Number 6, after you have been through all of those first 5 steps, you have been through a lot of processes. Really important, and I do not want you to skip over number 6, and that is to document and measure everything. I wish I had been wise enough at the time when I started to do this, because now I am having to backdate things to train new team members that come on board with me, virtual assistants, etc. But it's really important that every time you do something that you document how you did it, so that if something happens, you can actually outsource this to other people. And as you grow, then you can outsource some of the administrations. You've already got the processes down packed, and you can just get other people to do this for you. This is the best thing ever. So don't think that being a solopreneur means that you have to do everything all yourself. Otherwise, you are going to be hustling for days, and you are never going to get those dream life things happening in your life because you're going to be so snowed under in work. Super important, document and measure everything. When I say measure, everything has data. Everything has data. How many contacts you have, how many people that you have conversations with, how many sales you make, how many items you sell per client, how many website hits you have, how many posts that you put out. Everything is measurable. And even if you're making $0 right now, you need to track everything so that you can start seeing that incremental progress. If you are building on all of these steps here, then you will absolutely have data to support you and to measure. That means that it's coming back to not being stuck in your feels about things and not making it about you, but making it about your business and the people that you're serving. So super important. Document and measure everything. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for being here. This is actually my first YouTube, and I would love for you to do me a really big favor and go and hit subscribe, because I am going to bring out more information on these exact 6 steps, breaking them down step by step with some free resources for you coming up as well. Jump in the comments, let me know what you thought of this first ever video, and I will see you in the next one.